For decades, the U.S. has grappled with what the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention calls an epidemic.
Opioid overdose takes tens of thousands of lives each year. Preliminary CDC data indicates in 2024, an estimated 80,000 people died from a drug overdose. About 48,000 of those deaths were from a synthetic opioid, fentanyl.
But who is held responsible in the aftermath of these deaths is complicated for both families and the justice system.
As of January 2026, 35 states and Washington, D.C. have drug-induced homicide laws on the books. While specifics differ from state to state, they allow prosecutors to bring homicide charges against individuals who supply drugs that result in an overdose death.
One of the most recent states to pass such legislation is Missouri, where a young pregnant woman died from an overdose.
Reporter Zach Summers explains why, even with these laws in place, some families struggle to get justice.
We've seen the news coverage.
Police seize 9 pounds of fentanyl.
Major fentanyl bust by police.
2 people are in jail.
Alleged dealers arrested and charged.
The filing accuses Willis and Carson.
Their actions tied to deaths.
Hunter's death was a drug deal turned deadly.
Some even convicted.
Torrin Bauman changed his plea to guilty.
But for some families, justice never comes.
It says, "I'm so excited, getting more and more nervous. They kick so much."
That's one of the last text messages Crystal Bethune's daughter sent before her sudden death.
None of it makes sense to me.
Her daughter, 21-year-old Jalen Punchin, was 26 weeks pregnant with twins. She was expecting a boy and girl.
She was excited about becoming a mother?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, she was.
In the early hours of January 10th, 2025, Jalen's boyfriend found her unresponsive in their Independence home. Her boyfriend told police he'd gone to a nearby store, gone for about 45 minutes. When he returned, he says he found Jalen hunched over in a gaming chair and called 911.
I don't understand how they believed everything he said.
Crystal says what's in the police report only deepened her doubts. According to the report, the boyfriend gave officers a fake name. He was caught on body camera taking something from the scene, and he later hid a jacket he'd been wearing. That same report noted he had a felony warrant and was flagged for selling drugs.
I still, in my own heart, don't feel that Jalen did this to herself.
The Independence Police Department tells me they thoroughly investigated Jalen's case, and after reviewing all available evidence, they determined there wasn't sufficient probable cause to submit the case for potential charges.
Jalen's case isn't unique. I filed public records requests in the Metro's 2 largest counties, Jackson County, Missouri, and Johnson County, Kansas, to see how many fentanyl-related deaths actually make it to prosecutors. In Jackson County, at least 628 people have died since 2022. Police sent just 17 cases to prosecutors. Charges were filed in 9. That means less than 1.5% of fentanyl deaths ever reached a courtroom. Across the state line in Johnson County, there were 144 deaths. Only 14 cases were sent to prosecutors, with charges filed in 11. Hundreds of lives lost, but no justice.
Is that a problem? Is that alarming?
I'm a little bit surprised to hear that it's that low, but I can tell you that it's understandable.
Tony Mativi is the director of the Kansas Bureau of Investigation. He says the numbers don't tell the whole story.
There's nobody that I know inside the law enforcement community who's not taking this problem seriously.
Mativi says many departments lack the necessary resources to investigate fentanyl overdoses, and oftentimes they're ruled accidents.
If you have a medical examiner rule that the death was accidental, that's a really difficult hurdle for us to get over after the fact.
He says the facts are different for every case, but with fentanyl poisonings, the deceased's phone is crucial to the investigation.
We have a constant battle when it comes to technology. The bad guy is always a step ahead of us.
And proving intent in these cases is a high bar to clear. Jackson County Prosecutor Melissa Johnson.
The harsh reality is we cannot prosecute what we don't receive. And then once we do get a case file, again, we have to prove every single element of the applicable charge beyond a reasonable doubt.
Johnson says the other challenge is many dealers don't know what they're dealing.
They think that they're selling Percocets. They think that they're selling other pills. But they're all cut with fentanyl.
She says the burden remains high, but she's optimistic about a new Missouri law. It makes delivery of a controlled substance resulting in death a Class A felony.
With this new law, I do feel confident that moving forward, we will be able to see more families get a measure of justice.
In October 2025, Johnson filed charges in at least 2 fentanyl-related deaths using the new law. Kansas has a similar statute, and some families have found accountability of their own. Families like Andy and Rhonda Burrs in Lansing, Kansas.
Every opportunity that we had, we kept asking, hey, it's been a couple months. Tell us where you are on the case.
Their son, 15-year-old Cruz Burris, thought he was buying a Percocet on Snapchat. Instead, the pill was laced with fentanyl and killed him.
We were at a stalemate with our local law enforcement. They did not have the mechanisms, they did not have the equipment or the skills to be able to open the phone.
Through their advocacy work with Cruz for Life, named in honor of their son, the Burrs has caught the attention of local and state leaders. The Secret Service ultimately cracked Cruz's phone, leading investigators to Torrin Ballman.
We were lucky in the fact that we also had so much evidence.
Ballman was convicted and in January was sentenced to nearly 13 years in prison.
Be persistent, to talk to your community leaders, to other politicians, reach out to your senator, reach out to anyone who could help move the ball forward.
Would have been the last time I would have seen her.
10 months after her daughter's death, a baby's high chair and diapers still sit in Crystal's dining room.
I'm not sure if I'll ever put it away.
A reminder of what could have been.
Fall is our favorite season. And she should be here with us and her children, my grandchildren.
As time passes, the seasons change. Crystal watches news stories of other families who got justice, hoping one day her daughter will too.
Do more to charge the people that are selling the stuff and killing people.
After Missouri passed its drug-induced homicide law, we asked the Independence Police Department if it would reopen Jalen's case. The department made it clear it has no intentions of doing so and maintains detectives thoroughly investigated the evidence. Reporting in Kansas City, Missouri, I'm Zach Summers.
There is some criticism when it comes to drug-induced homicide laws. Some drug policy organizations say it can deter people from calling 911 in the case of an overdose. All 50 states and Washington, D.C. have Good Samaritan laws which grant certain legal protections to those who call for medical assistance during an overdose.